negativity that I see with this stuff. I mean, I get frustrations on races, right? But I don't see. I see very few people taking ownership of any of their own driving. They want to blame the setup. They want to blame the admins. They want to blame, anything but themselves. And I just get so tired of it. I just get so tired of it. Yeah, and it did. I felt the same thing. I think it got better the more laps, but I ended up spinning a few times, so that burned my rears up a bit. Um, last 10 laps of the race, you had a great time. Cool, cool. Do you know what your rear tires were as far as wear compared to your fronts? I'm curious what you had there, Mike. If you took a look, I looked at mine, and both my rear tires were like, what was it, about 5% more worn. Okay, yeah, I almost forgot too, but Zach reminded me, so otherwise I wouldn't know. But I mean, it was they were still in the 90s. I think the left rear was the worst, and it was at 91. So, the guys complaining are offering no help to make things better. Exactly. Try to help fix the problem. Then don't just bitch about it. But I think I see it in iRacing's culture right now. The community overall is always looking for somebody to blame. And lately, iRacing has been a target. Um, and then, leagues like this, when folks don't have a good race, or things don't work the way they should, that's the one that really gets me. Oh, it doesn't work like this. There's no way. Even though they've never driven one of these cars, but they think they're a fucking expert. I just, that burns my ass so much to hear that kind of bullshit. They watch it on TV. They draw some comparisons. They aren't good at it, or it's not the way they think it should be, and they just think it's shit. It's wrong. But they have no real world experience. How can they make that claim? They can't. There is no fucking way they can make a claim like that. Anyway, it's better, and they focus so much on the negative, they forget about what they actually have. And I think a lot of the responsibility for the overall attitude of the community lately are those streamers that have a huge influence right now on a lot of people, because a lot of people watch these streamers. I'm not saying iRacing's perfect, but these guys are making it out like iRacing has no clue what the fuck they're doing, and I don't believe that's the case at all. At all. But, I don't know why streamers these days seem to jump on that bandwagon. I'd love to find a streamer out there who doesn't do that, who isn't just piling on and joining the crowd and just dumping on iRacing all the time because things aren't the way they think it should be, or the way they used to be, right? Again, it's not right. There's some things that are not right, but Jesus Christ, do you always have to point out how bad it is? What the fuck are you doing here then? I don't get it. I don't get it. If you're not happy, do something else. Do something else. 100% agree. Honestly, I complained some in practice, but I knew there was nothing I could do to fix it, so I just shut my mouth and tried to figure out how to drive. Exactly, man. That's exactly what you should have done. You don't have to be happy with it. But at the end of the day, it's what you got. Figure it out. Figure it the fuck out, right? So yeah, that's exactly what you should be doing. That's what everybody should be doing. I just, man. Okay. Got that off my chest. And that's been building for a few weeks. I gotta say, just because every time I turn around, somewhere on some social media platform with iRacing or somebody's stream or some other area, the forums, I rarely see positive comments or support for iRacing. There is some out there, but the folks that have the biggest influence aren't doing that, and I think that's a shame. I don't know if they realize how much of a leader they are to the communities that they have. And I learned this lesson the hard way as well when I was in the military. The people in your charge, or in the case of streamers, their communities, they take on the attitude of the leader. It's just the way it is. It's human nature. So if you have a bad attitude or if you have a bad day and you bring that, in my case, to work, or in the case of a streamer, to the stream, your community is going to be influenced by that. I don't know if that's what streamers should be doing these days. I'm not saying everything's rosy. Talk about the things that need to be fixed, sure, but don't bitch about it. Don't bitch about it. Okay, now I swear, I'm done. That's it. I'm off my soapbox. I'm off my streaming soapbox. Let's see. Let me refresh the page here, see if they got the points up yet. And nope, not yet. Not yet. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of pull that off. They're just, I see some guys apologizing. Tyler Williams, he said some things. Now, granted, I think in his country, the word he used in the race tonight is acceptable. So I didn't take it as any extra, emphasis because of the word he used. But I just, I believe in his country, that's more normal. Like fuck is for us. The C word for them is that normal. So I didn't think anything of it. You think it's because they know they have such a louder voice than the normal person? They sound a lot louder, if that makes sense. Yeah, and just to kind of expand on that point, I think that maybe somehow in their minds they believe they'll somehow influence iRacing into fixing the problems faster. If they complain about it and their communities complain about it and all the streamers band together and all their communities band together and they all complain about it, somehow that's going to make iRacing fix the problem. One, that's pretty full of yourself, to be honest. But two, what makes them think iRacing doesn't already know it's a problem and is already working on it? They just don't tell you. They don't have to tell you, in my opinion. So, but yeah, I get it. I think some of them maybe do it just to get the crowd, to get the follows and to get the community, to build their communities, because it's easier now to. I do a lot of reading on leadership and human psyche and the mind, and it's always been easier for people to jump to group together for negative. It's very hard to do that, to get everybody moving in a positive direction when they don't see it themselves first. But part of the responsibility of a leader is to provide a vision to the people around them and then live that vision. Live it. Do everything you do should be working towards reaching that vision, even if you never do. I've read all three of Simon Sinek's books, and I watch a lot of his YouTube videos, and he talks a lot about that stuff, and it sits well with me, that philosophy, the things he says, and he's talking about it mostly in the corporate world. He references the military in some of his speeches and in his books and things like that. But I can get behind that mindset. I can get behind that attitude. And I understand it because I've had good leaders. I've had bad leaders. I've been a good leader and a bad leader myself, I think. And if you ask the people that worked with me, they'd probably tell you the same thing. But just, so I do a lot of, it's interesting to me, human mindset and the behaviors and leadership and all that. So I do some reading on it and I kind of keep up with it. And just what I see now is just so against all the stuff that I agree with in that leadership realm, right? That leadership space. So, yeah, it's, I could talk for hours on that. And maybe I'll do a stream on that one day. Leadership according to Rich. And we'll start with iRacing and streamers. I don't know. But it's cool. It's cool. At the end of the day, I believe iRacing is working the problems. At the end of the day, I believe they want to get the problem fixed because they enjoy racing as much as we do. They're racers at heart. They just also have a job that allows them to code a game. It's almost a hobby to them too, I think. So it's just... So I don't believe iRacing is just sitting on the laurels and raking in cash. I just don't believe that's them. They can definitely go about all the complaining differently, and maybe would actually listen. Yeah, exactly. If these people brought up issues in a better way and wanted to do something to help fix the problem instead of complaining about it. But then iRacing runs into the problem where if somebody makes a suggestion and iRacing doesn't respond to it or take and do something with their suggestion, well then I'm being ignored. They must not like what I said. They must think I'm wrong, and it's always about them. So iRacing's in a tough spot. I get it. But yeah, I think the folks in the community that have an influence could be doing it differently and in a better way, a way that was better for everybody, not just for iRacing, not just for the streamers, but the communities that watch these people, watch the streamers. I mean, I think about the days that I had bad days at work, or when I wasn't the best leader, and I think back to how much I potentially influenced the people around me in a negative way. And then they took that home with them. They the rest of their day, the rest of their week, or however long was affected potentially from something that I started because I came in with a bad attitude and I was bitching and complaining and moaning about leadership or something else. And then how that affected them, and then the ripple effect after that, right? So I sleep at night knowing that I was learning, and I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't know any better, but I still don't like the fact that I potentially had that kind of an influence or that kind of an effect on the people that work with me and their families. So I guess I take it a little more serious than others. And because I think about it, and even in my own home, right? My kids, my wife, growing up, having to deal with this guy when things weren't well and he had a bad attitude and all that shit. I think about how I influenced that, especially when the kids were little, and how that may have influenced them growing up. I think about that, and it bothers me. But if I had access to the information I do now, like through the internet and through these leadership videos and the people that I read and watch, I think I'd have been a kick-ass dad. I'd have been a kick-ass parent. I'd have been an awesome motherfucking parent. But, yeah, back then all you had was, your parents and what they did. And, things like that. So I think people today have access to so much more information, but they have to be selective. And they really have to think about it. They can't just absorb everything and try everything. They really got to kind of pick through it, and whatever rings true to them, whatever sits well with them. The word I keep hearing in that area, that subject matter that I read, is they have to be, it has to be congruent with who they are, right? It has to fit, because if it doesn't, your brain is going to know that, your mind is going to know that, and it's going to fight you the whole time if you're trying to push yourself to do something that just doesn't sit well. So I try not to do that anymore. And I'll tell you, FTF has tried that this past few weeks with all the racing at short tracks and here and then, like I said, all the attitudes and stuff. I try not to let it get me, but I'm human too, right? So, all right. So I appreciate you guys listening. Kind of went off on a tangent there.